is Athena, now the pronunciation of your last name? Souls, okay. First you're going to hear from Athena, who's an AR patient as well, and then her mom, Ginny, who's a physician, a GP in New York City, so it'd be interesting to hear her perspective as well. So Athena, please.
Thank you. Well, my epilepsy came around with benign brain tumor, and I first started having seizures before my brain tumor was diagnosed, and I was being pretty wild adolescent, and having seizures and not sharing them at all with my mother, and wondering why my peers were not feeling these same sensations as I was. So it was quite a while till my brain tumor got big enough to affect me enough that it was really going to be diagnosed. I was a junior in high school, and the pressure in my eyes is what really found it. They looked into my eyes, and there was a lot of fluid pressure because there was a big old brain tumor pressing all the fluid. There wasn't enough room in my brain anymore. So my seizures changed over the years. I've actually had 3 brain surgeries, and the first 2 guys didn't get it all out, didn't do a good enough job, and really complicated things in my brain, creating more scar tissue and everything. Finally, in 2001, which is 10 years now, I had the proper surgery out in San Francisco. However, the tumor over that time traveled, and the seizures changed a lot, and I was still having lots of seizures after my final surgery. I've also been on tons and tons of drugs, and way too many drugs, and way too high of doses, and there's a lot of cognition to regain after brain surgery and tumor, and I was so joked up on the drugs that I didn't have the energy to increase my cognition and work at it, and so it was just this really awful state for a long time. And 2 years ago, my mother found Dr. Andrews somewhere. She got a hold of her. I went out to Santa Rosa, and she and I have been talking on the phone ever since, almost weekly. Donna taught me how to monitor my life, how to monitor my living, and going over it weekly. If I had seizures, talking about what might have caused them, what was wrong that week. If I was doing well, like, why am I doing well? How am I treating myself? So basically, it's all common sense, but it takes a really long time to understand well enough to actually apply it all the time. It's a lot of work. So let's see. What can I? Well, I'll give you an example of a definite thing that I have learned, and that is like environments environments change very quickly, I get seizures. So, for example, if I walk into a room that's a different temperature, a different lighting, and a different, sound, all at once, it very much overwhelms my brain and can very much give me a seizure. And actually, the hallway outside of my apartment used to do that. So I'd walk out of my apartment and get a seizure because it was colder, it was more hollow sounding, and it was a different light. It was facing another side of the building. So I learned how to prepare myself before I went through that door, knowing, okay, it's gonna change, and you're ready for it, and yeah, you can do it because you know what's gonna happen. So I got really good at that, and I also used to take the stairs going down. I don't do that anymore. That wasn't healthy. So I take the elevator. Like a greenhouse is a really bad environment for me, and I don't go into greenhouses. I've learned like the basic things like eating a balanced diet regularly and getting enough sleep, and alcohol. I didn't drink any for a long time, and now I can have some, but I monitor myself very closely. So it's all very commonsensical, and it also has to do with believing that you can do it and telling yourself that a seizure is not an option. So it all becomes easier work once you learn what work needs to be done and then doing it. It becomes, more natural, but you still got to do it. And also, I was on way too many drugs, and I've tried all the drugs and everything. And Dr. Andrews also helped me get on like a quarter of the drugs I was on. Get totally off one, and a quarter of the other one. And therefore, I have so much more energy, I'm so much more coherent, and I have been able to increase my brain power and, relearn things and compensate for areas that are no longer as healthy. Because I have the energy to do that, because I'm no longer on as many drugs. So all of these things Donna has helped me with. And I came from New York to tell you this. And thank you.
Thrilled to be here and so grateful to Dr. Reiter and Dr. Donna. I can't even think of her last name because she's Donna. And I'm thrilled to be Athena's mother. And it's so much harder and longer than she can convey in a few minutes. It's been much of a nightmare and much of it medically induced. So one thing I want to say as a doctor is find the doctor you like and trust and can talk to. I made the mistake, even though I was a doctor, of just saying you have to put up with the neurosurgical personality. It doesn't matter if they have a personality, if they take the brain tumor out. That was my head and my doctor training. My heart was saying, I hate this guy, get out of here. And I listened to my head twice, and they didn't do a good job. So it was very hard work to find the right person, and it was on the other side of the country. But, so this journey is hard, and then it's made more difficult often by what you encounter, which is not help. It's the opposite of help. If people do the wrong things or discourage you from doing the right things. And I want to encourage you to take charge of your epilepsy and hopefully use this program. Never, 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 never give up. That's what Churchill told the people in England during World War II, but that applies here and everywhere. Do it. I mean, do something to take care of yourself, and you can. You absolutely can, no matter who you are, or what your situation is. There's more that you can do, and you will be better when you do it. So be encouraged, and don't listen to anybody who tells you what you can't do. Run the other way when they say there's nothing, or you can't do that, or that doesn't work. Just I'm out of there. Like, don't listen. They're wrong. Okay. We've been through that, so for years and years and years. Top neurologists in New York saying things like, "Well, there's nothing more we can try for you," and saying, "Well, if you could come in 6 months if you want to, but since nothing's happening, you don't even have to come." Like, I finally got it. Like, when I'm, many years into Athena's illness, that this is a get out of there sign. Okay. So go to people who really have you and your case at heart and in front of their face and are paying attention and who are trying to help and know something that can help. And hopefully go to Donna too, if you can. Because our lives, Athena's life is 95% better than it was before she was with Donna. And so my life is too, and the whole family's. We're all part of this situation. So I have to thank Donna and everybody just as much as Athena does. And I thank you all for coming today. It's a long, long day. But I want to leave you with the message of hope and intention to heal and cure. Actually, there's Paramahansa Yogananda, who kind of brought Indian thought to the West in the early 20th century, wrote a great book called The Autobiography of a Yogi. And he had many illnesses and many spiritual experiences. So one thing that he said was, medicines have limitations. The creative life force has none. Believe that, and you will be well and strong. So anytime I'm discouraged, I say that to myself. And I don't even need to say it anymore. I just know it because here we are. It's been a big success, and it's an ongoing story too. So thank you all for coming, and congratulations for being here and for the work you do for yourself and your family. It's hard work. It's sort of a special calling. And the family, the loved ones, the parents, spouses, siblings have a hard job and need encouragement and support and congratulations, and to appreciate themselves and pat themselves on the back. So bless you all and thank you all.